standing in the center of your mat, we'll just roll the shoulders up, back, and down, lifting those elbows, flipping them around, squeeze those shoulder blades. I don't care if the ribs lift right now, and exhale. So nice arching movements, really focus on that shoulder blade squeeze, dropping back and down, and do your best as you do that not to lift your chin, right? So tuck your chin. I exaggerated that one. Tuck your chin even as you lift the rest, right? So we have a tendency to lift, but let's just keep that chin in line, stretching out that back line of the body. One more time, big deep breath in, squeeze back, hold here. Now take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, keep your arms there, but pull the ribs in. So now we've got those ribs pulled down, even though the chest is open, those things actually can happen. And then bring that down. Shift your weight onto your right leg, left toes in front. We're going to slide those toes forward by bending the right knee and slide them back, reaching and up. So that right booty is sitting back and down. Arm movement if you like. Keep that going. Just 2 more. And then we'll hold this one. Keep that right knee bent. Lift that left leg. Hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then final challenge without putting that leg down, straighten the right one. Woo, that should be pretty strong. And we're going to reach to the side and back, to the side and back. And again, arm movement if you like, don't have to. Try not to put much weight on that left leg. Just 1 more, we'll reach it out, we'll hold it there, we'll lift up, and then very slowly press that right leg straight. That one gets you. And then abs in, step back with that left leg, try and engage that quad to straighten the leg. Reach back and come forward. Reach back and come forward. Option to intensify by lifting those arms a little or a little more. As your leg goes back, those arms could go overhead or just single arm. You're really going to feel that in that right booty. Do your best to stay tall in your spine, even though that leg is going backwards. Just 2 more. And then again, on this last one, we'll reach back. We'll sit into that right leg. Then we'll lift those left toes, hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and bring that leg in as you straighten. Ow! Right hip or right leg up and over, and then push the hips to the right. Arms go left, feeling that stretch along that right hip, and then step those feet apart, turn them apart, bend your knees. Give yourself support here for a long spine, and then straighten that right leg if that's okay. Shift your weight back, lift that right arm up, and cut to center. We get to do the other side. So weight on your left leg, abs in, right toes stretch forward and back. Arms if you want. Imagining that string suspended from your head to your tailbone, keeping your spine tall. Just 2 more. And then this one we leave out there. We lift that foot, we hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we try to straighten that leg without bringing the other one down until after. And then we reach to the side and back, to the side and back. Arms if you want. Again, you're not putting weight on that right leg. You're sitting into that left one. Two more. Last one, leave it out. Weight on that left leg, lift the right toes for 4, 3, 2, and then do your best to stand up without weight on that right leg. All right, left leg a little forward, right leg back. Engage that quad. Do your best to sit back and down without necessarily hinging that upper body. And then again, this is where as your arms go up a little, it will intensify. And then back we go. Shift that weight into that left leg only. Right leg lifts, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then try and bring it through. Woo! And now left leg over right, arms up and over you go. Separate the feet a little, turn the toes out, sit down, support yourself with your weight on that right leg. Left leg is straight, shoulders out of your ears, and then left arm up and over. And here we are. Shoulder roll, up, back, down, really drop them. Suspend from that tailbone to that spine, and then go to the back of your mat. Give me a nice wide stance. Bend your knees, hands on your thighs, and try and find yourself in a parallel position, abs pulled in to support this. And then challenge, can you go a little deeper, really deep squat, so that your hands can come down without rounding. And then we're gonna walk it out into a high plank position, hands right underneath you. All right, we are not doing a push-up. We are gonna squeeze the shoulder blades together and then press them away. So I'm trying to move just through the shoulders, head in line with your spine. So after you've seen what I'm doing, bring your head back in. You're not bending your elbows, you're not lifting and lowering your hips. It's a small contraction movement just through the shoulders, 2 more like that. And then finally, squeeze the shoulder blades together, bend the elbows, straighten, press away. Squeeze the shoulder blades, bend the elbows, straighten, press away. Option to be on the fronts of your thighs. Excuse me, but initiate that movement, shoulders, then elbows, and up. Just one more time, shoulders, elbows, woo, press back. If you want to include a little bit of a tricep stretch here, bring your palms together, walk your elbows forward, but then press your hips back, tap your index finger to your shoulder blades, and then think about walking the elbows forward and pushing the hips back, elbows forward, hips back. As you do both at the same time, you might feel a nice stretch on those triceps. And then hands come down, undulate forward, roll back, and we're going to come all the way down at this point. Relax for just a second, stretch those legs out, and then left arm out, abs in, lift your right leg and your left arm, head in line with your spine, and then gently bring that down. Right arm, left leg lift, holding for a moment, and back down. And then if you want, you can keep your head just suspended above the mat. Back of the neck is long. Keep your shoulders down your spine, alternating, inhaling and exhaling. Opposite arm, opposite leg. One more time. And then we'll press straight up. And we'll come to a seated position. So that was a very modified warm-up bird dog. We'll do a couple more in a moment with a little more challenge. So as we sit at our mat, let's really pull those glutes out from under us and make sure that we're not at all tucked, right? So sitting up as tall as possible, scoochy, scoochy, the sit bones back. Hold on to your hamstrings and give yourself a very small hinge. Let go and see if your abs engage. Think about now really pulling those ribs down, pulling those abs in, and try not to round, right? So ears over shoulders, back of the neck is long. Option to open those arms, lower them down, grab hold of your hamstrings, and give yourself that lift with the chest without boop, boop, the chin lifting. Chest comes back, ribs come down and in. We move as a unit from the hip to the ear. We hold, option arms out, or up, whatever you want. Lower those hands, sit tall. Ooh, lift that chest, get a little arch in your spine. Feel your shoulder, or excuse me, your sit bones. Push your tailbone back. And then again, exhale, hinge, open on the inhale if you want. Lower the hands before you move. And lift yourself up without necessarily lifting that chin. Notice if your shoulders creep up in your ears. Mine want to do that, so be aware of that too. Couple more. And last time, we're gonna hinge back, keep those ribs in, back of the neck is long, chin is tucked. Do something challenging with your arms, and we're just gonna hold for 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Grab hold of those hamstrings, lift yourself tall, and then take your time coming down, lying down position, little stretch side to side. And then stack those knees tabletop, arms into a T, let the knees drop to one side. And then back through center. If you have some issues with those twists, you're not gonna go full range, just a small range, right? And then back up through center, feet back on the ground. Ab prep without the head lift to start with. So hands on your thighs, deep breath in. On the exhale, bring your arms straight above you, and then keeping your ribs flat. On the inhale, reach the arms by the ears, create a challenge, but keep those ribs down. Exhale, everything down, deep breath in. Exhale, reach, inhale, stretch, exhale down. Option on the exhale to float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground, and then inhale, reach overhead. If you choose to do that one, make sure that your chin stays tucked, your head stays in line, right? And you don't have to do that. Keep in mind that your head, neck, and shoulders lifting up doesn't have to be part of this, right? So you inhale to prepare, you exhale to float, you inhale to reach, choosing whichever you've decided to do, head up or head down. I stay on the ceiling. Last two. And then on that last one, go again, hold those arms overhead, whether your head is lifted or head is down, reach through the fingers, exhale, little ball, and then stack those legs tabletop. Right toes point to the sky, left arm reaches to the sky, and then they reach away from each other without moving that left knee. Inhale, center, right arm, left leg, and inhale, center, knees together. Exhale, right leg, left arm. So this is actually basically a bird dog lying on your back, so it turns into our single leg stretch. You can certainly do this with your head, neck, and shoulders lifted, but again, we're creating that challenge with the legs and the arms. So if you don't want to lift up, you don't have to. And take a quick break, knees in, and then right back to tabletop they go. Spread those knees apart, heels together, toes in the Pilates V. Exhale, float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Slow double leg stretch. Inhale, point your toes. Exhale, flex your heels, reach your arms overhead, and then point those toes, and you're gonna reach. Maybe knees, maybe shins, maybe ankles, maybe toes. Exhale all the way down. Inhale to open. Exhale to lift if that's okay. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex and reach. Inhale, point, lift. Maybe you're all the way up in the teaser. And exhale down. Not if you've got spine issues. Inhale, open. Exhale, reach. No, sorry. Exhale, lift. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale, reach. Exhale, down. Here we go again. Step one, you inhale to open. Exhale to lift. Inhale to point. Exhale, flex and reach. Inhale, point, lift, reach to wherever you're comfortable, and exhale down. Couple more with me, then you'll be doing them on your own. So make sure you know that step one is to open, step two is to lift, 3 is point, 4 is flex and reach, and then 5 is point and lift and exhale down. One more with me, inhale, open, exhale, lift, inhale, point, exhale, flex, inhale, lift, exhale down, and now it's all on you. You have 4 more, each one is 6 steps. So 24 moves, if you've got it. When you finish those 24, you're gonna hug your knees into your chest so I will know you are done. All right, feet on the ground, heels are underneath your knees, but then we're gonna take a big step forward with the right foot, big step forward with the left. And we're gonna lift our toes up so that you're on the back of your heels. So you may have to walk your feet pretty far away from you. Hands down by your side, find your neutral spine, so abs in, tailbone long, deep breath in. Exhale, lift it up. So bridge pose, you're gonna feel this a little more in your glutes than usual. And then we're just gonna lift an inch. Lift an inch. Chin is tucked, shoulder blades are squeezed together. 2 more like that. And then option, if you want, point your right toes to the sky. Left glute is going to feel this more along with that hamstring. And then you poke a hole in the ceiling by lifting the hips. Poke and lift, 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 lift. And then right knee bends, put it right next to that left foot, and then left leg straight up in the air, point those toes, and press up. And relax. Woo, bring it down. Grab those hamstrings, one leg in each hand, take a little rock side to side, that should feel good. And then we go tabletop for toe touches. Hands on your rib cage for just a second, deep breath in, exhale, travel those ribs towards the hips, and then palms open, chest is open, one leg at a time moves away without any change in your spine and your abs. Other leg, exhale, flex through your heel if you'd like, or both legs at the same time. Wide stance with your knees if you want, that froggy position. And if you want, long lever, so legs go straight. Again, you might try that single leg at first. And if you want, both legs. Just do whichever really makes the most sense for your body, which one you feel the most, right? Without feeling in your back. Your back should be engaged some. And then we'll take a break. Legs back in tabletop, palms to the sky. Nice T position. So earlier we did a twisting class. We're going to do a little similar. You have to keep your toes where you can see them, and you have to keep your knees together. You can let those knees go to one side, back through center, and to the other. So if you notice that your legs are gapping, you're using different muscles. And then if you want more challenge, you're going to keep your shoulder blades down, but your arms come completely off the ground and they don't move side to side, right? So I'm not going to swing my arms. I'm going to keep the palms facing the ceiling equally. Woo! And if I go too far, I'm going to fall. And then if you want that last challenge, hands together, index fingers point to the sky, and they don't move as your legs move side to side. And relax. We're going to hug that right knee in, get it nice and close to your right armpit, and then stretch the left leg out and flex through the heel, enough that you might feel a little bit of a stretch on the front of that left leg. We use those hip flexors a lot, and if they get tight, it moves our hips. And if that happens, then sometimes our upper body starts to react and we get slouchy. And then right foot on the ground, left knee comes in, hug it as close as you can so you start to get a left hamstring stretch. And then flex through that right heel and see if you can get a right hip flexor stretch. And then heels together, toes apart, reach around, grab those ankles, deep breath in, exhale, see if you could roll up and pause and balance here enough time that you could flap your flippers together 3 times in the seal, shoulders out of your ears. Now, if rolling's not a good idea for your spine, you can skip that, or you could go just to your low back, right? So I'm gonna pause at the top. It's the pause, it's the challenge, it's the control that I can go just part of the way and then come right back up again. Don't have to go to my shoulder blades, small roll. And then next time you come up, stick that balance. Or if you weren't rolling, meet us here in balance and then grab behind your hamstrings, snug your ribs and your hips, your ribs and your thighs close together. Stack those legs. Engage your abs and see if you could let go and hold that. You could lift those arms by your ears, and last option would be lift those toes, hold, and then grab those legs. Give me a little tricep lift and scoot those hips back so that you're on the front of those sit bones. Once again, that allows you to sit tall and then press forward. You can bring your hands behind you to grow tall and then hinge. You can flex your toes back towards your face. You can start sliding those legs out, but you want to stay tall in that spine. You want to make sure the hips don't roll under, and that your chest stays lifted. Head in line with your spine. All righty, and then we are over onto one side, facing the front. Arm right underneath your ear, hips are stacked, knees are stacked, feet are stacked. Pilates V with your heels as you pivot open. Waistline stays lifted. 2 more here. And then we keep the knees down, heels in the air, and we pivot open. Beautiful. Gently bring it up on that same side onto your elbow. Keep the legs bent, maybe not as much, and make sure the top leg is in front of the bottom one, crossed at the ankle. Shoulder pushers back, lift up out of it, engage those lats, top arm up, and you're going to lift up and straighten those legs without moving your feet, side plank position, but then we go into a side bend by bending our knees and lifting up. We bend and straighten, just a few here. And gently down. Let's go all the way over to the other side to do our clam over there. Arm resting underneath your ear, waistline is lifted, knees are stacked, hips are stacked. Heels together, toes apart, pivot open. And then knees down, toes in the air, pivot open. And then we'll come up into our side plank position, protecting this shoulder by pushing it back, lifting up out of it. Top leg in front of the bottom one, crisscrossed at the ankles. And then we lift those hips and straighten the legs, bend the knees and press straight. Bend and press. And relax down and back over onto your abs you go. Let your forehead rest for a second as you stretch out each leg. And then we are gently going to prop ourselves up just the tiniest bit here. Actually, more than a tiny bit, sorry. We're coming up here. Are we? All right, shoulders out of your ears. I'd like you to lift your hips up in pre-plank, right? So shoulders down, squeeze together, head in line, not dropped. And then lift your right leg just barely, right? So you don't want to lift it so much that you tip. You just point those right toes. And then gently down. Same thing, left toes. and gently down. Let's try that again. Right toes barely hover, hips stay in line, left toes barely hover. Take a little break. Deep breath in, back into your pre-plank. So hips come off the ground. Challenge, without rocking into your right side, can you lift your left arm? Whoops. I think I did this differently yesterday. Right arm, left arm, and right arm. We'll take a quick break, bend those knees. And then we're going to see if we can put that together. So pre-plank, hips off the ground, and then left arm, right leg, and then right arm, left leg. It actually helps a little because it counterbalances. And when you're done, we're going to press back again, resting position. Arms can stay out front, come down by your sides, tuck behind. Do that tricep reach again if you like. And then roll it forward in a cow and back in a cat. Again, I mentioned this a few weeks ago. If you maybe already have some osteoporosis in that upper back, you don't have to necessarily round through that cat. You can round through that lower body and just kind of keep the head in neutral. And then we'll find neutral spine. We're going to do that same bird dog by stretching that right leg out, point the toes and lift. Option to stay there or extend that left arm, trying to get it hand out of your peripheral vision, head in line with your spine, shoulders out of your ears. And you can stay here or you can tap and lift. And gently down, roll through a cat. And inhale through a cow. Find neutral, left toes reach and point. Stay there or also lift the right arm. Stay there or tap and lift. And then as you come down, you're coming back down onto your forearms, let those hips drop, roll the shoulders out of your ears, tuck your chin to nod yes, rotate the palms toward each other, thumbs up, pre-plank again, so hips lift, or roll onto the fronts of your thighs, or tuck your toes and go into a regular plank. Think about shoulders broad, abs in, of course, tailbone tucked under, thighs lifted, head in line with your spine as much as possible. Hands apart, of course, shoulders broad, abs in, ribs in, tailbone under, press through the heels, lift those thighs, almost-ish there. And relax. Woo, let's press back, or you could windshield wiper, you could undulate, whatever would feel good for your spine right now. All right, and then we are spinning all the way back over on our spine. Going to take a quick break with those knees in. All right, and then we're stacking them again. So we're going to go back to the beginning of class when we did single leg stretch. We're just going to add on this time. So right leg reaches, left arm reaches without that left knee moving. Inhale center, right arm, left leg. And then one more time each leg. So you can stick with this if you'd like. But we're going to build from here. Next option, pivot. So we're back in that froggy position, heels together. This time, when your left leg reaches, it goes up and over to the left, but not too far down. And the right arm goes the opposite direction without rolling onto it. So I'm going to try and keep that shoulder lifted. Back through center, right leg, left arm. So looks like Tinkerbell, Peter Pan. Good, one more time like that. And then final option, head, neck, and shoulders lift. Now the challenge is when my right arm stretches, I don't roll down onto that right shoulder blade. And then center, and then opposite direction, and center, and reach. So opposite leg, opposite arm, I'm twisting away from my leg, getting that rotation in the center. Head stays in line, mind wants to get ahead of the rest of me. And relax. Whee, shoo. Feet on the ground, wide stance. Drop your left knee in, let your right leg drop open for a beautiful stretch on the front of that left hip. Back through center, right thigh drops in, left knee drops open. If you'd like, arms in a T, or they could be in cactus to get an even better stretch, or you could even grab your elbows over your head. And then we'll come back through center, so choose upper body, and then once again, we'll drop that left knee in, right leg open. And back through center other way. And back through center, just little windshield wiper, walkie, those feet in and out a couple times. Do your best to kind of exaggerate. We've done this before in a bridge position. We're doing it now without the bridge, just to get that hip mobility. So toes turn out and then toes turn in, then heels in, toes in, heels in, toes in. Walk it out one more time. Again, just a little hip mobility and back in. And this time, legs can stay in. Let's reach down, grab that right leg and hug the knee towards the right shoulder and circle it. We might as well try straightening out that left leg at this point. So once again, we're trying to get that hamstring stretch on the right and hip flexor on the left. Then we'll bring that right knee in so it touches the thigh and the thigh and the ribs touch. Reach down with your right hand. Play with your toes, you can bring that leg across, whatever you need to do. And then finally, toes pull back. We're gonna press that knee down and flex through that heel. So now, if your left knee bent, that's okay, but your challenge is to get that left leg straight. And then right leg can straighten. It might not happen that you're still holding, so feel free to move around. And then back through center you go. Move your hands to your hamstring, point your toes, bend the elbows, bring that leg a little closer, flex through the heel, and push against your hands. Do that one more time. Point, bring your leg in, flex through the heel, push against your hands. And then that last time, pull the toes in and see if you could flex and increase that stretch. Arms out into a T. Big circles with that right leg, twice in one direction and twice in the other. And then lay the leg down. Oh, goodness gracious. Boy, does that feel better. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh, pivot open, passive figure four. That's all we're doing right now. And then stretch the right leg out. Left knee comes in. And we're ready for that work on the left side, that stretching. So nice circles. And then rib to thigh. And then grab that foot. You can manipulate through those little bones. And then reach down with your left hand and pull the toes back as you push that knee down. Still trying to get the stretch on the front of that left leg. Straighten that left leg, or excuse me, at the front of the right, and move through that left ankle. Back through center, grab your hamstring, point your toes, bring the leg a little closer, flex through the heel, and push against your hands. Point as you bring in, flex, press against your hands, and one more time, point as you come in, flex, press, and then this time point and see if that leg may come a little closer. Then big circles, twice in one direction and twice in the other. And then leg down and passive figure four here. Then put that left foot on the ground, right leg crosses, ankle crosses over that thigh, We're gonna reach in and pull those knees closer to intensify the stretch on the right side. Little rock side to side. Left leg reaches up, move through that ankle. And then bend both knees, stack them up, reach for your left shin, hug it in, big stretch on that right hip. If you want, grab your ankles, pull them apart, arms into a T, knees dropped left. And back through center, right foot on the ground, left ankle crosses, thread your needle. Bend those elbows to bring that leg closer to intensify that left hip stretch. Right leg can go up and move. And then bring it down, hug them in, knees crisscross, grab that right shin, nice hug. Feel free to pull the ankles across. And if you want, a little twist to the right. Uncross, roll to your right. Make your way to your hands and knees. And again, we'll undulate that cow-cat forward and back. And then hands right underneath you, shoulders out of your ears, tuck your toes, hover your knees forward, 3, 2, and 1, and press it out. Wide stance. Think about the beginning of class, how low can you go and get that neutral spine, weight in your heels and your hips. Bring it up. Thank you guys.